Hello everyone, my name is Ruchi Raundal and my student code is PCM 23315. I am currently pursuing my Masters in Construction Engineering and Management at CEPT University. This semester studio focuses on construction project formulation and appraisal, for which we are given different projects to study. I will be taking you through a feasibility study of Slum Redevelopment project. Talking about the project brief, slums have become a serious issue in rapid urbanization of cities. Urban development can be achieved by addressing the issues of the slum and improving the living conditions by providing affordable housing. The proposed site is located in the core city. The client for the project is Municipal Corporation. The area of the proposed project is 12,679 square meter. The type of contract proposed is public-private partnership. The project is under PMAY, that is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana scheme, in situ slum redevelopment vertical, implemented by Government of India under Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The project objectives are to provide hygienic and healthy lifestyle, providing pakka houses with basic amenities and ownership rights after 15 years to the beneficiaries. Currently, the project is under tender stage. The number of units proposed are 868 units. Duration of the project being 24 months. For context analysis, PASTEL tool is used. It is a comprehensive analysis which helps to identify various factors from site surrounding, which serves as a base for various analyses that would be conducted ahead. In this study, the political and social factors were found to have a predominant effect on the project's initiation. Land acquisition, judicial disputes being the major issues that would affect the project delay. The economical factors being high prices of land, social factors being the migration trends, demography, that is the increasing population of the site, oppositions of the slum dwellers for the redevelopment project, and the slum surveys related to it. The higher number of health issues due to improper waste management. The technological factors being Lighthouse project and advanced mapping technologies. Lighthouse project and initiation by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs under GHTC to reduce the delay in the project and faster construction of the affordable housing projects. The legal factors being building law, which states that the site has an FSI of 4 due to transit oriented zone. Disputes in communities, policy framework, land clearances being other factors. Eventually, all the factors contribute in difficulty in conceiving the project and result in delay of the project. For problem analysis, the problems were enlisted regarding the site. This identification helped to create a base for the project before it begins. The focal problem identification is the fundamental factor that the project is aiming to solve or address. The focal problem being poor living conditions. The causes of poor living conditions are overcrowding, semi-pakka or kacha houses, insecure property, poor standard of living, low source of income, and lack of community space. The effects of this focal problem being the poor public hygiene, illegal activities which are unregistered but actually occur on site, traffic congestion due to intervention on streets as major activities are held on the streets, lack of land parcel, and unemployment due to loss of main income source. The poor living condition is analyzed as the primary issue rooted to several causes due to high population density and other problems the lack of affordable housing is analyzed as another primary issue. For demand analysis, various demand driving factors were identified at macro and micro level, macro being the city level and micro being the site level. The macro factors identified were population trends, lack of available urban land, urbanization, insecure tenure, and others. The graph of population growth rate of the city shows the population growth rate from the year 1971 to 2071. The growth rates have declined from 3.2 to 2.2% during the past 2 decades. The micro demand driving factors were identified through slum survey that was conducted by us and interviewing the slum dwellers. The graph suggests the increase in the dwelling units over the years from 2010 to 2023. Initially, the units number of units floated were 108, which later got revised to 346, 582, 782, and currently it is 880 as per the municipal corporation. Whereas the site survey that was conducted by us suggested that currently the site has 1300 units with population of around 6000. Another factors that affect the demand supply gap are delay in approvals for such slum redevelopment projects, the policies that needs to be reviewed, limited revenue for the developers, unaffordability of low income groups, population, and unavailability of urban land. The developers are required to pass through 150 tables in 40 departments of central and state government. The above graph shows the duration that is required to get the approvals, which adds up to 25 to 30% of the project cost. The photographs on the left show the current condition of the site, which simply states the dire need of redevelopment that the site needs to go through to provide the slum dwellers with better living conditions and basic amenities. A lean tool, target value design, that is TVD, is used to bring down the cost by optimizing design through collaboration between client, designer, and contractor. Initially, a strategic brief is provided by the client. In our case, it is for the community hall. Well ventilated space should be provided. It should be of low maintenance and adjacent washroom should be provided are a few of the requirements. Further, a design brief is provided by the designer where space requirements, that is the areas, and the architectural specifications for all the elements like the door, window are specified by the designer. The plan seen is for the design one option, where the community hall has fewer windows and a platform is provided in the kitchen. This can be seen in the 3D top view on the right. The cost that is achieved from design 1 is 11,59,747. After the cost 1 of design 1 was determined, design 2 was done, which was done by client designer and contractor working together, where the client suggested a decrease in cost 1. Then the designer made changes in design 1 to form design 2 and the contractor finally gave out the cost. The design alterations that were done to reduce the cost included the change in the type of the wall from brick wall to AAC wall. The partition walls being used in the restroom were changed from precast partition wall to aluminum frame partition wall. The flooring was also replaced from vitrified tile double charge to vitrified tile full body. The interior paint was also changed from emulsion paint to plastic paint. and the electrical fittings were also changed. The cost comparison of D1 and D2 suggests that the initial cost was 11,59,747. By doing the alterations, the cost achieved was 10,04,114 rupees, which is a difference of 19.58%. It was analyzed that the major cost reduction occurred due to change in the type of the flooring, which led to a difference of 19.58%. This is the proposed site layout for the project. The site has approach road from the south and the east, which are 18 meter and 26-meter wide. The layout is designed such that it leads to open common spaces in the center which would be accessible to all the slum residents. It is proposed in consideration to guidelines of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and Municipal Corporation guidelines. A typical 30 square meter unit plan is used to form the blocks. There are two types of blocks that are designed for the site. One which has 20 units on one floor and another has 8 units on one floor. The blocks are allowed only to be P+7. The central space has temple, community hall and common open space to promote community gatherings. A workshop space is also provided to support the primary business of idol making. The design is done such that it responds to all the needs of the residents so that the project is a successful one. Conclusions. In case of context analysis, the factors allow to see the various advantages and disadvantages of the site context that should be taken into consideration. Majority of them being lack of awareness among the slum dwellers, which result in protest and disputes, which ultimately delay the projects. Idol making being the major source of income has to be considered while redeveloping the slum project, as it should not be affected. The ever-rising number of slum population since the settlement shows the need to provide adequate housing facilities for the slum dwellers. In case of problem analysis, it is the identification of the issues or challenges which are aimed to be solved through the project. All the problems identified eventually affect the standard of living and livelihood of the slum residents in this project. The poor living conditions is analyzed as the primary issue, rooted to several causes due to high population density, insufficient land, and lack of awareness among slum residents. In case of demand analysis for slum redevelopment is a thorough procedure that is include talking to the slum population to comprehend their specific needs and preferences. Consideration and proposal of the demands of slum dwellers and clients will lead to a successful project. The target value design had two options. The roles of the client, designer, BIM modeler, and contractor are role played in order to implement target value design, which is a lean technique for making decisions. In the first option, all of the client, designer, modeler, and contractor worked independently. Then the cost was analyzed. But in the second option, all of them collaborated and tried to optimize the cost in order to reduce the project's overall cost, making the community hall efficient, less aesthetic, but with all the facilities. From the comparison of Design 1 and Design 2, it was concluded that there is cost decrease of 19.58% due to design change.